Scientists got bored watching the Earth churn, so after 24 hours, they called it a day. This was not quite YouTube exclusive in the term of normal sense, but this is a Patreon supporter who's been asking us to cast his replays, one of the rewards for this month. So starting off with his introduction here in this 2v2 to the top right, we have the teal Zerg player, HurtOne. Thank you again for the many months supporting on Patreon. His ally is the Purple Terran, Demox, the Purple Terran. Those are all probably very wrong. But you guys know what colors make up purple. Red and blue. In the top left, we've got Kecker, top Kecker, and the red Protoss, Laxon. Now, for those who are unaware, we've got a Patreon. Obviously, this is a bit of an advertisement for it, real quick. Honest to God, guys, we don't make $1 on YouTube. If you guys really need it, I can show you. But the point is, the Patreon is what supports the YouTube channel, and while we might not be able to serve you ads and make all this, you know, cents per the viewer type thing, we do have a couple people who contribute some bucks to Patreon. Now, if I'm going to be honest, my beg and my ask would be consider donating $1 a month to the Patreon. If you enjoy our YouTube content, you want to make sure it doesn't disappear anytime soon, it's a great way to support it, because all of the money through Patreon goes towards supporting YouTube and nowhere else. But for the few that choose the higher tiers, we have some things like replay rewards. So maybe you don't want to subscribe on Twitch, but you still want replays from the awesome casts we do here on the channel. Well, that's one of the options. The other one, of course, is having a replay cast. I hate doing replay casts for subscribers. Never been one to do it. So this really, truly is a special option available only on Patreon. Now, these guys are not high-ranking players. You can tell that by the 4 SCVs currently chasing around Laxon's probe. Oh boy. HurtOne, however, despite me wanting to shit on his playstyle or rank, he's actually given us some pretty fun games. One of the first Patreon reward casts we did for him was he went back and wait, does he have a forge? He is. He's gonna go for cannons. But one of the first things HurtOne did for us was he gave us a game where he just went like 9 Nexus mass probes and won a 1v1 match. So I'm always excited when he sends in the replays to get cast. You never gonna quite know what to expect, but looks like Laxon had ideas of a cannon rush, however thwarted. Probes down, 2 pylons wasted. This actually doesn't go too badly for the top right team. Not great because our Purple Terran is not made a full wall off here, nor is he properly back on mining. I'm not sure what these 3 SCVs are meant to do other than just slack off. I was putting that back. Now, something HurtOne did that I did not realize happened, because who the hell and what the hell, he actually proxied a hatchery. I guess the initial drone that snuck in through the base just went to the natural, and the other team at this moment knows about it. They've seen it, but they're not reacting to it. A cannon goes down at the front, another one paired up with it. The Lings won't be able to get inside anytime soon, but these guys don't need to. He'll be inside from the inside. Pylon goes down. I think he wants to put cannon steel with this, but the creep's already spread so far. The only cannons he can put down would, and I believe should be out of range of hitting anything here, so these Lings coming out should be able to kill that Pylon with relative ease. Blue, of course, can't do too much about this either. His production's been a little bit slowed down. Let's be honest, guys. We know this is like an amateur league type thing. I don't know what rank this is, but we're not talking masters or anything like that. That's for dang sure. So we get to watch everyone throw their head. Oh, against the wall. The cannon is not canceled, but it is killed. Laxon does not have a lot of money to really waste on something like that. He's also rallied wrong here with his gateways, so Zealot's on the wrong side of this, and he needs everything to shut HurtOne down, who, by the way, of course, has a queen out spreading a creep tumor, so even if this gets cleaned up, they won't be taking the base anytime soon. This has actually been an excellent start for HurtOne. He is more or less 2v1ing at the moment. Now, Zealot, sadly, and for no reason that makes sense to me, does win a 1v1 battle with the queen. However, with the addition of the Marines, made it a little bit easier. I guess they'll eventually clean this up, but kind of at a cost. In fact, there's even a spine crawler coming down the backside. I don't really see any follow-up from HurtOne. He's just going to go for a spire. You know, no hatcheries taken back at home. Unfortunately, on a 1-base economy, he's not going to have much. However, if Demox, our Purple Terran, wants to feed minerals to HurtOne, because you can do that. In a 2v2, you can trade resources. If he wants to send over some resources to our Teal Zerg, this might actually bolster his endeavors to play off of 1 base like this. But the spine collar's nearly done. Ling's looking to go kill some more SCVs. Kecker taking some more losses here. That kind of sucks for him. Of course, HurtOne's worker count is relatively low due to all of his investment having been in some kind of aggression. The Spinecrawler moves up. The hatchery's on fire. Spinecrawler might be able to stop like the Zealot, but it can't save the hatchery at this rate. So these last links coming out will be just that, the last links coming out. A couple broodlings to help too. It's actually not bad. Medevac not going to be able to save this army. The sentry goes down. Yeah, the cost of how much it has been so expensive for them to remove this hatchery. I would say this was certainly worth it for HurtOne. Not to mention the denied mining up here, the creep tumors being spread. These are going to force out scans. You're busy scanning, you're not dropping mules. Like, this is going to be a nightmare for the blue-red team to clean up. And by the time they have, granted, it will be a very small amount of mutalisks, but there will be some mutalisks in play. HurtOne's actually a little supply blocked with this hatchery having died. And right now he's focusing a little bit more on this micro rather than his macro back at home. More legs come across the map. There are still cannons and a full wall to deal with. Actually, on that note, I'm a little surprised our Terran player, Kecker, didn't actually contribute to the wall, because now they don't have an easy way to like lower a depot and let things out. This team is actually fully walled in. Also, and additionally, that command center's on fire. I hope he thinks to repair it. If he lifts it, of course, he can't land it again with all this creep here. Takes some time to clean up, which isn't fun. But finally, some mutalisks coming out. We knew it wouldn't be many, but it's 3. It's okay to start. He dropped a mule, not on the mineral patch. I presumed to repair, but realistically, this mule should be the one mining. The SCV should be repairing. I don't have a lot of faith in Team Blue-Red right now. Not sure how this Widowmine is contributing, but it will safely keep any oracles that are not available at this moment from attacking this hatchery. So, yeah. Got some medevacs out with the mutas. You can't, so this is kind of a funny thing. You don't see this too often because 2v2s aren't really a pro scene thing, but there's a lot of interactions that work well and synergize with the races. And one of the funny things is medevacs actually do heal Zerg units. So if your mutalisks are damaged, the medevacs can heal them. One of the funniest combos I've seen going back, and it was not an effective combo, mind you, but I love the thought process behind it. There was a team that had gone for Ultralisks and medevacs. And the idea is that the Ultralisks are so hard to kill, what little healing should be more valuable that the medevacs provide. But honestly, the medevacs are meant to do like a lot of little spurts of healing, not heal up 500 damage on an Ultralisk. So ultimately, that combination did not work out very well. But it does appear these medevacs were made intentionally with the Mutalisks in mind, and that's really cool. Mutalisks have some really, really hard natural regeneration, but with the medevacs combined with that, these can be very difficult to deal with. There's no missile turrets. Remember, he couldn't build anything. And even if he could, there's only a few Marines to push this back. And let's see those medevacs come into play. Yeah, heal those mutas. Heal them up real good. Actually, the funny thing is, mutalisks are much faster than Marines tend to be, so it's very difficult to actually keep up with them to heal them. But yeah, he's actually topping up these mutas pretty well. Their natural regen's helping it a lot too. There's not that many stalkers. I think you just take this fight. Sitting on 11 mutas. First one finally going to go down. Maybe it's being healed? No. Okay, he keeps the mutalisk alive. That's pretty cool. Is that no losses? No mutalisks lost. Through all those Marines and all those stalkers, boy, does this feel frustrating. And on top of this, he's not even going to get to finish the engineering bay, which means he's got no possibility of building missile turrets, leaving this down to just units. And as we're seeing, these medevacs with the mutas are working out well enough. To be fair, they really shouldn't be. I think there's a lack of focus fire coming out of the other team, but even that being said, this is snowballed a little bit harder than I expected. These mutas have paid for themselves like several times over, not to mention the medevacs with them. All these ults are just stuck here. The tanks are stuck here. They can't actually leave the base to go counterattack because they walled themselves into the dang base. What's Purple doing this whole time, by the way? He's built a couple of medevacs and a lot of Marines that have no stim pack and no combat shields. He's just making mutalisks for his buddy HurtOne here, which I think is comical to say the least. This is... I think one muta went down. One mutalisk went down. It's a big yikes for me, team. Red somehow got something out of the base. I'm not sure how he did this. Do you have a warp prism? No, I've seen a robo. I don't know how Red got a probe outside. Maybe there's a scouting one from earlier. Either way, he at least expands a little bit, so maybe some more stalkers are in mind. Kecker's got a lot of money floating too, but he's got the same problem with Marines, with our, sadly, noob Terrans here. They're not very well upgraded. In fact, we're coming up on 10 minutes and nobody has even started Stimpack. Yikes. But HurtOne has pretty much been winning this game. single-handedly. He's got the addition of Dimax's medevacs, so can't count him out entirely, but these are Marines without any kind of additional help. They don't even have their own medevac support. The weird feeling when a Zerg player has more medevacs than the Terran player. Oh, that's some like casting vibe levels of stupid right there. HurtOne doesn't know about this actual base, but this is such an easy pick-off once he finds it. It's only a cannon. And yeah, of course those medevacs are here too. Now medevacs could be boosted to catch up to these, but ultimately, as we see, there's not a lot of pushback, so the healing's not as necessary. Purple has also opted to take out the longest path around the map, perhaps not being aware how to go across the map on Ulsan. Alright, well, we'll see if Purple ever gets into the fight. He has done a great job moving down here to the south, to the complete opposite side of the map from where any of his opponents could be located. Wait, did this engineering... Okay, completed. Didn't get canceled. I thought that would have been canceled. Well, if Purple ever gets involved in the fight, this is a done deal. The amount of Marines and Stalkers are starting to push off the Mutalisks, but any kind of support... Oh my god, he found rocks. He found the one way you couldn't go across this map. Because I thought he was going to go up through here. No, he's actually breaking down the rocks to go the most inefficient way possible across this map. Like, I know HurtOne's the one who's submitted this Patreon request, and we should be following him and praising him, but god damn it, Dimax, what are you doing? I don't mind that you're bad at macro. I don't mind that you clearly are uncomfortable with moving your units. What I mind is that you did somehow, unintentionally, unironically, find the worst way across the map, tackle the one hurdle stopping you from getting across the map, and then just fucked off. There we go. Marine's gonna move up. Mutalisks, of course, still doing work with those medevacs here on the other side of the map. But as I said, if the Marines ever get into the fight, they do have stim, but even without it, just their auto attack damage is enough to aid and probably kill. There were some tanks, but several of those tanks were killed by the Mutalisks, policing all that. I do kind of wish some of these medevacs would just go help out the Marines. Looks like he broke down part of the wall so he can get out. That's a big stim for nothing, which if you're a Terran player, you know is not a good thing to do. Another stim, by the way, before the first stim was really finished wearing off. Does crush the army, though, and of course, while this goes on, there's no competition stopping these Mutalisks on the other side of the map. Just a couple of missile turrets and the odd Viking. We got more Mutalisks rallying as well. Dimax has killed most of Red's army, and while I don't know the time of this game, I'm sure we're coming close to the end because it just really isn't much left for our top left team. Our 2v2 squad from Team Patreon forcing them out of the game. There's the first one out. Red taps out, just blue left. There's the GG. HurtOne and Dimax. Good game, my friends. Thank you for giving me this Patreon replay to cast. And of course, if you guys are of the tier to get your own replays cast, please make sure to submit them when I make the request once a month. This one is actually a little out of date. It was a little bit difficult to open, but we found a way because I wanted to make sure we cast it as this was the one they requested. So thanks again, HurtOne. And of course, it is just simply patreon.com/BaseTradeTV for any guys who want to check it out. I guess I'm going to ramble here for a moment, but the video is done. I'm just going to let this go for a few more moments so we can kind of add some spoiler-free tags. Doesn't look like it ends as early as it does, etc. But just to explain our YouTube situation a little bit. I'm not begging, I'm not prying. We actually have enough money on Patreon right now that the YouTube is going fairly smoothly. We've still not hit our $200 a month goal, which makes it a little bit difficult to continue paying our editor. But, you know, he puts up those thumbnails, he gets the tags, he makes sure there's timestamps on these VODs. So again, I'm not saying anyone here has to. Right now, we're fine. YouTube will continue as is for the time being. Not as scared about closing it as I was 2 months ago. But if you're just thinking to yourself, like, I got $1, but I couldn't be bothered till I go to the Patreon page, I got to ask you to reconsider because it honestly goes a long way. Even if you only pledge $1 for 1 month, guys, the world of difference it makes for me is huge. So thank you so much for watching. I know that this is not your usual cup of tea. I'll get some pro casts going up soon. For the YouTube exclusive stuff we've been talking about, if you've been really following this channel for the last 2 weeks, I have reached out to Gumiho. He's in some tournaments. So the reason this has been getting delayed longer than I was hoping is he's in a couple of different tournaments right now, including the Ting Open, which we're casting on BaseTradeTV, and doesn't want to play any sort of off show match until he's done said tournaments. So as you guys had requested Gumiho as the #1 player, I will continue to keep him in mind, but if I can't get Gumiho available, I will try to find another player. I think Rainer and Stefano and a couple others were highly requested, but I am working on trying to make that YouTube exclusive showmatch happen. So thanks again for all your support, no matter what form, what way. Here's some awful music just to help extend the video a little bit so that you guys have that spoiler-free tag, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.